This video is sponsored by True Gold Republic, the precious metals experts. Talk to one of their experts today about diversifying your portfolio to help assure your future financial security. Find their contact information in the description below and pinned in our first comment. James Kaufman, World News Report today, July 18, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Forbes article from July 16th, and that was an update. 3 snipers were inside the building the Trump rally shooter fired from. Report says, you're right, they were, but they were on the 2nd floor. Top-line local law enforcement had reportedly stationed 3 snipers inside the building whose roof was used by the gunman who attempted to assassinate former President Donald Trump during a campaign rally in Pennsylvania on Saturday, highlighting the potential security lapses that led to the former president getting injured and 1 person being killed. This is the gunman, no blood, definitely not shot by a 50 cal. There's his rifle, there's his backpack. Please notice this feature right here and this walkover right here. Key facts: 3 snipers were stationed inside the building and were tasked with looking out of the windows at the rally. CBS News and local outlet Beaver County reported, citing local law enforcement sources. One of the law enforcement officers stationed in the building saw the gunman scoping out the roof and carrying a rangefinder before briefly disappearing from sight and returning with a backpack, the report said. The officer managed to take several photographs of the shooter and even radioed the sighting to his command center, but the suspect shooter, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, was reportedly able to scale the roof through an air conditioning unit. So that's exactly what they wanted. These are the 3 windows, and perhaps this one, but these are the 3 windows that would be most likely. The shooter was here. This is the thing I asked you to look at here. It's the only one like it. And this is the walkover. His backpack was here. I could draw it off for you all again, but the snipers were in these windows, and their shots towards Trump would have been at a much higher angle, but they were much better shooters. This is a Forbes article from the 15th, updated on the 16th. Now remember, they managed to take pictures of this guy and run him up the command. 3 snipers stationed in the building. Now it makes total sense. I'm sure the pitch of this roof looks much more difficult, and why even worry when you have 3 windows here facing the rally? Can you even imagine? The shooter was probably tasked to do this and thought he was a lone, worker being tasked by our government or somebody else, and in fact he was being tricked by our government into being a patsy. Yes, this is a Forbes article. So these 3 snipers were overlooking the patsy the whole time, but local law enforcement officials cited the report blamed lack of manpower, which prevented them from placing a sniper on the roof or providing the snipers on the ground with spotters for their failure to stop Crooks, along with extremely poor planning. But they had it all worked out. There were 3 snipers, according to them, in the building. Again, I will leave the URL in the description, as I always do. They said 3 snipers were in the windows here of the building. You can see they were in the 2nd floor overlooking Crooks, the patsy. Right? It goes on that some officers arrived at the building after the police snipers raised the alarm. They were looking down at him. They could have taken him out from 20 feet. Tried to climb onto the roof and reach Crooks, but at that point, he had fired his shot, which is BS, and he had been killed by the Secret Service. Well, my question is, what caliber rifle? Not a 50 caliber rifle, or there'd be pieces of him all around. All we saw was dried blood, old dried blood on his head, like he'd been shot at close range with a .22. Maybe the policeman went up on the roof, shot him with a .22, got back down, and then the snipers in these 3 windows that they've already admitted to being there. Again, 3 snipers were inside the building Trump rally shooter fired from, according to local police. Hello, I think we've just figured this out. I'm going to draw it one more time. Sniper was here. His backpack was here. These are the 3 windows. There is a window here. I'm not sure if that one's included or that was included, but there were 3 snipers looking out the window, and Trump was off in this direction. So as you can see, one of the snipers in the window was the actual one that made the closer to 200-yard shot. This was a huge setup, but she told you everything. The director, Chitel, said that we secured the building from the inside. And here, our Forbes article says that there were 3 snipers inside the building, looking out the windows, it even says. Look for the article in my description and tell me I'm wrong. Where was the blood from the huge impact of the 50 cal? Let's take a look. This is supposedly Crooks before they got up via drone picture. The rifle, his backpack. There's really no blood whatsoever on the roof. I don't know what they were getting rid of. It's almost like they walked up to him, talked to him, shot him up close range with a .22 in the head. They just rolled around in there. Very little blood was lost. And this could have been hours beforehand, 30 minutes beforehand, because the blood we saw on his face was dried blood. A 50 caliber like the one above Trump would have blown his entire body in half. Anyone that knows about ballistics knows that's a fact, Jack. I want to see. This is the only thing that looks exactly like this. This is the walkover, backpack, gun, Crooks, Patsy. They've all admitted the truth over and over. They just didn't admit who took the shot. Needless to say, shooter, backpack, actually that's where the gun was found. Shooter, and then the windows, right? I'm not sure if that window was used or the third was in that window, but I'm believing the shot was taken from this side. The shooter here shooting at Trump at this angle, and these guys shooting at a much different angle that would make the simulation work out. I couldn't figure out how they wanted that simulation to work out yesterday when they put it up. But any of these guys in this window, well, his head turn obviously would have saved his life. Whereas if it was more of a straight on shot, i.e. from 30, 40, 50 yards further to the right here, it would have been very hard for that small head tilt to save his life. Let me know what you think. Remember, the water tower is too far away and way out of play. Well, let me know what you think in the description below. I'm just showing y'all what's going on and what happened. Inside job, I don't know if it was Secret Service, a local sniper. I don't know who the 3 snipers inside the building are, but I'm afraid our government needs to find out who they were, because all 3 of them were probably set up, and all 3 of them definitely know each other and definitely know what occurred in that building. God bless. Please share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible. Bizarro world.